What are we talking about this week? Let's find out coming up. Hey families, Justin here with River Kids Children's Ministry, and what I want to do today is not just talk about what we were talking about yesterday, that we can kind of talk throughout the week with your kids, but I want to kind of just walk through, since it's already a little bit into April, what the themes are for our areas as well. And so with our preschoolers down to 2, what we're really doing this month, kind of understandably based off of Easter being at the beginning of the month, is we kind of have a big news theme. Okay, you guys might have seen it in the hallway. It's kind of, like the newspaper, read all about it kind of thing, when you used to throw the newspaper out on the corner kind of thing. And it's big news. And what's that big news? What's that big news? And that big news is Jesus. So last month in March, we were talking about I can follow Jesus. And this month, we're talking about I can tell others about Jesus, okay? And what we're doing is we're kind of having a very just simple version of the Great Commission, all right? Matthew 28:19 just says, go and make disciples of all nations. And so from a very simple aspect, that's how we're approaching it with these kids this month in those younger ages. And then specifically, so that's the month, right? And then specifically, yesterday, we looked at the early church, and just a broad overview, just very simple, Acts 2:42 through 47, we looked at the early church and what it looked like, and something that honestly we still aspire to today. And what can that look like, and how can we, learn from that as people together, but then also inviting others in to this amazing news of Jesus Christ. So for you parents, just that's what it is, and that's honestly, that's a great lesson for us, a great reminder for us. So I hope, as always, that it fills you up as well as you have these discussions with your kids. I encourage you to just read through that little 5 verses in Acts Acts chapter 2, 42 through 47. And I encourage you to read kind of just that little section of Matthew 28 right there, as Jesus is telling us to go and make other disciples. And honestly, that is our hope, that our kids are raised to be disciples of Jesus, just as we aspire to be. And so that is our charge as parents, is to raise our kids as not only disciples of Jesus, but disciple makers themselves. But we are not in it alone. There are other parents and there are other families around that you can connect with that can help you in that. And we as the church are absolutely here to partner with you with that as well. So what an encouraging, what an awesome thing to be talking about with your kids this week. So I hope, and we are praying for some great conversations with your kids this week. Now for our elementary kids, again, taking the same approach, this month we are talking about patience, okay? Patience. Raise your hand if you struggle with that. Yep, everyone, right? So patience is what we're talking about. So what an awesome opportunity to learn ourselves, kind of be reminded ourselves, and help gently walk our kids through what patience means, what patience looks like. So we're defining it this month as waiting until later for what you want now. Something that's really difficult. It's easy to kind of approach it in the way of like Christmas or birthday, or maybe a big vacation that you guys are taking as a family. Something that's really hard to wait for, and so that's kind of some of the visuals that we're kind of giving them. So waiting until later for what you want now. Okay, now again, that's the month, all right, patience. And we're kind of having a road trip theme with that. So, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You guys are familiar with that, I assume. And so we're taking that road trip approach that maybe you have to go on a little bit of a journey. And so you got to kind of wait. You're in the car and you're trying to figure that out. And you want to be there, you want to be there so bad, but it's not quite time. And so we have to have patience in that. And so specifically yesterday, and what we're kind of talking about throughout the rest of this week under the umbrella of patience, was we looked at 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 6 through chapter 2, verse 1. Okay, so a little bit bigger section, but just to kind of give you a quick overview, this is the story of Hannah, okay, who was one of this gentleman's wives, okay? Now, you don't necessarily have to talk about that with the kids, that's totally up to you guys, but that was the culture back then. And the trouble is that one of the wives had several kids, and Hannah was not able to have kids. And so the one wife, as they would do this regular pilgrimage to the Lord's house to pray and give sacrifices and those things, would constantly tease Hannah. Haha, you don't have kids, you don't have kids. I do, I'm the one that has the kids, and all this kind of stuff. And so Hannah would get really upset, understandably. She would get really upset. And so finally, at one point, she's just praying to God, and she's praying to God, and she's praying to God, and she's like, please, can this be? And if I can have this son, then I will dedicate him to you, and he will become a servant of you, and all this kind of stuff. And Eli, who's the priest in the temple, sees this, and blesses her and says, bless you. And there's some other things that happen, but I really encourage you to open up the Bible and read those yourself to be able to kind of chat with your kids because they saw the story yesterday. Actually, ask them. That's a great tool. Ask them what they learned about it. It's only a day after, so they should really be able to remember what we talked about yesterday. So ask them to walk you through the story. But, you know, read through the story yourself so you kind of have an idea. And so then what happens is that God blesses Hannah. God blesses Hannah, and she has a son, Samuel. And so she does indeed dedicate him, and he goes and he works with Eli in the temple, and then goes on to do some other amazing things that you are more than welcome to get into if you'd like to throughout 1st and 2nd Samuel. So that is what we are talking about with the kids. And we looked at it with our main point bottom line being, when you think you can't wait, talk to God about it. When you think you can't wait, talk to God about it. And Hannah was a beautiful example of that. So that's just a really, quick idea of what we were talking about yesterday, and then what we're also talking about overall with the month with your elementary age kids and with your preschool kids. Again, guys, we are here to partner with you. Please let us know. We say it every time. Let us know how we can help you, whether on here, whether on our Facebook page or Instagram page, or on a face-to-face on a Sunday through email, whatever it might be. We are here for you. Please let us know how we can help you. We are just excited to partner with you in raising awesome disciples for Jesus. So thank you guys so much for checking this out, and we will see you next Sunday. Hey guys, as always, thank you so much for checking these videos out. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, just always recommend that you do that just so you can be the most up-to-date in what we're doing. And if you're just checking this out for the first time, go ahead and check out some of the videos that we have over here just to kind of keep you the most up-to-date with some of the things that we've been talking about. You can go back to other episodes and look at things, or some of the other performances or different things that we have on here. And so we really encourage you to do that. And and if you've been here for a little while, go have a refresher. So thanks again for checking this out, guys, and we will see you later.